Hi guys, this is Miss Austin and I'm going to go over one of the four problems in the labeling the key features of a quadratic assignment. So you'll be able to find that wherever your teacher pushed that out, and what you're going to need to do is, using some different colors, label the key features. So here we have graph one, and in the left hand side you're going to let them know what color you used. So I'm going to pick red. So for my vertex, I'm going to label that with red. The vertex is right here. And then I need to determine if that's a point, a line, whatever that is. A vertex is a point, and that happens to be the point 2, 4. So 2, 4. Okay, I'm going to change colors. Let's use blue for the axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry is the line, the vertical line that cuts the parabola in half, the line of symmetry, mirror image on both sides. And that's actually a line, and we have to write that as a line. So we have to do the correct equation for a vertical line, which is x equals, and then whatever number you're going through. So if you look right here, it's going through 2, x equals 2. Okay, domain you really don't have to show. I mean, we could maybe highlight with color. The domain is, what are all the x values? Remember, you look back and forth. So you can go forever and ever to the right, and you can go forever and ever to the left. Remember, at the beginning of the year, we used walls. There are no walls. So you can go forever and ever and ever, and there's lots of ways to write that. Perhaps the easiest way is to say all real numbers. You could also say negative infinity to positive infinity. You could use inequality notation. Any notation is okay. The range is, instead of going back and forth, it's up and down. So you'll notice, right, the lowest this graph ever goes is right here. And then it has no ceiling up here. So it's from here forever and ever and ever. So that is from 4 to infinity. So a couple different ways. You could either do interval notation, touching at 4, so you use a hard bracket, 4 to infinity, or you can go like this, y, and you could do your chasing Pac-Man. We said that in Miss Austin and Miss Eisencraft's class. It goes from 4 all the way to infinity. Either one of those. You don't have to use both ways, either way. So I'm separating those out. Let me erase that. Okay, the y-intercept, let's do that in green. The y-intercept is where it touches the y-axis. This is the y-axis. There's my y-intercept. That's a 0.08. The roots are the spots that the graph touches the x-axis. Well, this parabola does not touch the x-axis, and that can happen. Okay, sometimes you might have 2, you can have 1, you can also have none. Okay, and then the last thing we want to make sure you understand is the different forms that a quadratic can be presented in. So we wrote the equation right here. It says y equals quantity x minus 2 squared plus 4. And what we want you to do is tell us, is that in vertex form, standard form, or factored form? So hopefully you listened to the video. Maybe you wrote down the different forms, or you can go back and listen. This is in vertex form. And the reason I can tell is because it's got one parenthesis with something squared plus, it doesn't have to have a plus after it, okay? So you have to kind of get good at recognizing those different forms. This is vertex form. Also, when you do the next 3 problems, don't get too caught up in coloring the domain and the range. I mean, If you didn't even want to color the domain and you just want to say what it is, that's okay, because it's a little confusing labeling the domain and range with color. So it's okay if you leave that blank and just give the domain and range. Okay? All right, I hope that helps, and I'll see you all soon.